Sabalenka beats Wildcard in front of Federer and Laver. World number 1 Aryna Sabalenka overcame the pressure of being watched by tennis legends Roger Federer and Rod Laver to begin her Australian Open campaign with victory. An error-prone Sabalenka overcame French wildcard Tyansoa Rakitomanga Rajana 6-4 6-1 on Rod Laver Arena. Six-time Aussie Open men's champion Federer and three-time winner Laver had front-row seats during the first-round match. With Sabalenka joking, she tried not to look at them. Sabalenka, who has won the Melbourne title twice, later took a selfie with the pair. "I wanted to show great tennis so you guys enjoy watching me play. What a privilege. I really hope you guys enjoyed it just a little bit," Belarus Sabalenka said. "It was a lot of pressure. I was walking around, thinking, don't look there, don't look there." This article contains content provided by Instagram. We ask for your permission before anything is loaded, as they may be using cookies and other technologies. You may want to read Meta's Instagram cookie policy, external, and privacy policy, external, before accepting. To view this content, choose Accept and Continue. Sabalenka boasts an impressive record in Australia, dropping just one set en route to consecutive titles in 2023 and 2024, and has lost just one of her past 22 matches at the tournament, a surprise 3-set defeat by American Madison Keys in last year's final. Her good form is not restricted to Melbourne's blue courts either. 5 of her 22 career singles titles have come on Australian soil, including tuning up for this year's major with victory at the Brisbane International. However, Sabalenka did not have it all her own way against world number 118 Rakitomanga Rajana. In an uncharacteristically messy first set, Sabalenka had her serve broken in the opening game of the match, and although she immediately broke back, saw 16 winners cancelled out by 13 unforced errors. After saving a break point for 4-4, the match became increasingly one-sided, with Sabalenka reeling off 5 games in a row to take control. "I didn't start my best. She showed up on fire and she was playing great," said Sabalenka, who is bidding to reach a 4th consecutive Australian Open final. Sabalenka will face either Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova or Bai Zhuoxuan in the second round, with Britain's Emma Raducanu a possible third-round opponent. The stadium breathed like a living thing. A low murmur rolled through the stands, rising and falling with the rhythm of expectation. Somewhere high above the court, flags barely stirred, as if they too were holding their breath. On the hard blue surface below, Aryna Sabalenka bounced the ball once, twice, 3 times, each echo sharp and final, a punctuation mark in a sentence she intended to finish on her own terms. Across the net stood the wildcard. No one had expected her to be here, least of all under lights this bright, in a match framed by legends. She had arrived quietly, almost apologetically, slipping past bigger names and louder stories. Her racket bore the marks of long practices and borrowed courts, the kind of wear that spoke of hunger more than glamour. Tonight, she stood not just against Sabalenka, but against history, eyes wide yet steady. And history was watching. In the front row, Roger Federer sat with his familiar calm, hands folded, gaze precise and curious. Beside him, Rod Laver leaned forward, a living bridge between eras, his eyes holding decades of tennis memory. Between them, the game felt smaller and larger at once, compressed into this rectangle of court, expanded by everything it had ever been. Sabalenka served. The ball exploded off her racket, a comet streaking through the air. The wild card reacted on instinct, barely getting her strings around it, the return floating back like a prayer. Sabalenka stepped in, shoulders rotating, unleashing a forehand that landed deep and unforgiving. The point was over before it had truly begun. 15 love. Power had always been Sabalenka's signature, but tonight there was something else beneath it, a clarity. She moved with purpose, each step measured, each strike a declaration. This was not raw force alone. This was control harnessing chaos. Her grunt cut through the air, not as noise, but as rhythm, a drumbeat driving her forward. Yet the wild card did not fold. She chased down balls that should have been winners, sliding into corners, redirecting pace with soft hands and brave angles. In one rally, the crowd gasped as she feathered a drop shot so delicate it seemed to fall asleep just over the net. Sabalenka sprinted, stretched, flicked it back, and the point continued, a dance of contrasts. Power versus touch, expectation versus surprise. Federer smiled. Laver nodded. They had seen this before, in different forms, in different decades. The essence never changed. Tennis, at its core, was always a conversation, sometimes an argument, sometimes a poem. Games passed. The scoreboard tilted in Sabalenka's favor, but not without resistance. The wild card held serve with courage, saving break points with fearless swings. Each time she did, the crowd roared a little louder, as if willing her story to grow another chapter. But Sabalenka is not a player who waits for permission. At 4-3, she broke. A return drilled down the line, clean and cruel, followed by a fist pump that seemed to shake the air itself. Her eyes flashed toward her box, then briefly, almost unconsciously, toward the legends in the front row. For a fraction of a second, the weight of their presence registered. Then it was gone, burned away by focus. The set slipped away from the wild card soon after. In the changeover, she sat with a towel over her head, breathing deeply, listening to the crowd, to her own heartbeat. She was not beaten yet. She reminded herself of that. She had earned the stage. She would not leave it quietly. The second set began with defiance. The wild card stepped inside the baseline, taking the ball early, robbing Sabalenka of time. A backhand winner kissed the sideline. An ace out wide painted the corner. For a moment, doubt flickered, like a shadow crossing Sabalenka's face. Federer leaned back now, arms crossed, watching the geometry of the court unfold. Laver's eyes followed the ball, never missing its arc, its intention. Then Sabalenka adjusted. She raised her margin, added height to her shots, pushed the wild card back inch by inch. She began to construct points, opening the court before striking, a chess player masquerading as a brawler. When the opportunity came, she did not hesitate. At 3-3, the rally of the night arrived. 20 shots. Then 25. The ball moved corner to corner, speed and spin changing like weather. The wild card defended with everything she had, legs burning, lungs on fire. Sabalenka pressed, probing, waiting. Finally, a short ball appeared, and she pounced, ripping a backhand winner that drew a roar so loud it felt physical. Federer applauded. Laver stood, just for a moment, clapping slowly, deliberately. That point broke more than serve. It broke the spell. From there, Sabalenka surged. Her serve found new life, her returns bit deeper. The wild card fought, saved match points, refused to bow, but the ending had begun to right itself. On the final point, Sabalenka served wide. The return came back, hopeful but thin. Sabalenka stepped around and struck a forehand that thundered into the open court.